Hi and welcome to this week's Bitrix24 Live. My name is Andy and I am the support manager here at Intraface. We are Bitrix24 Gold partners and we're located in the US, in the UK and the UAE. And we offer a range of different services from implementing Bitrix into your business through to providing any one-to-one demonstrations. So if you want to have Bitrix24 demonstrated to your business team to make sure that it fits your requirements, then we can arrange that with an online meeting. And we also offer premium support. So we can provide ticketing support and we can also provide telephone support as well. All those services are on our website at www.intraface.com. So please do take a look and get in touch with us if you do need any assistance. So we have these sessions every Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And essentially, they are 1 hour of free support. So if you've got any questions or queries with regards to Bitrix, then we can show you live on the screen. So whether you're using a cloud product, so a free version up to a professional cloud, I can show you on the screen within one of those systems. Or if you use an on-premise version and you've got questions related to the on-premise version, then I can show you on that as well. So as I say, we're here every Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Please do send your questions in throughout the week if you do get stuck on some elements of Bitrix. Because what we tend to do is tend to start each session with the questions that we've got through during the week. And we have had some come in, so I'll start this week's session off with those questions. But if you do want to send them to us during the week, then you can send them to sales@intraface.com. And as I say, I can start the next session off with those. So like I say, we do have some that have come in and I can start off with a couple of very easy ones. So one of them, and it's quite a common question really, is how do you make somebody an administrator? So it's quite simple really. So if you're using on the cloud version of Bitrix and you want to make one of your users an administrator, all you would need to do is you can see in the left-hand menu, click on employees here. Then if you go into your employees list, you can find the user that you want to make an administrator. You can click on the user themselves, and then you can click on the actions just in the top left-hand corner above their profile picture, and then you can click on assign admin permissions. Being an administrator of Bitrix does give you some privileges that a normal user wouldn't necessarily have. One of the main aspects of being an administrator, especially if you're using Bitrix24 for the CRM, then an administrator can provide you with all the access needed to set up and configure your CRM. So you do need to be an administrator to be able to do that. So if you click into CRM, click into settings, and then you will be presented with all the configuration options available to you to configure the CRM. So that was what this question that came in was with regards to. So that's how you would make somebody an administrator. If you want to make somebody an administrator on an on-premise version, it's a little bit different. So you can click into the control panel here. And we click into settings, and under manage users, we can click on user list. We can find the user that we want to make an administrator. click into Edit, and then in the tab at the top here under Groups, we can select and make them an administrator. So it's a little bit different on an on-premise. I know the question came in from somebody on the cloud, but whilst we were talking about making a user an administrator, I just wanted to show you on the screen there. I have another question that's come in with regards to, does Bitrix provide email hosting? So it depends what you mean with regards to, does it provide email hosting? So Bitrix no longer provides you with an email address. So Bitrix would not give you your own email address. Instead, what you would need to do is you would need to have your own email. So whether it's a Gmail, whether it's an Outlook email, then you can connect that up into Bitrix. So I think if we click into the webmail side here, and if I just click to connect a new account, you can see the email inboxes that you can connect into Bitrix24. So Bitrix, as I say, will no longer provide you with a free email address. You would need to get an email address from one of these services. Obviously, if you own your own domain name, then you can connect up that particular one. So for example, Andy@intraface.com. We actually use the Google apps, so the Google Suite. So Andy@intraface.com, I would connect using the Gmail option here. So that's with the question with regards to, does it provide email hosting? As I say, it doesn't essentially provide a free email address. You would just need to connect one of these third party. And if you don't have a Gmail or an Outlook, and you just have bought a domain name and you can set up your emails from maybe the control panel within that domain name, you can always use the IMAP settings to integrate your email into Bitrix. So hopefully that answers your question with regards to, does Bitrix provide email hosting? Okay. So another question that came through is, and it's quite a common one that I usually get if we are providing support to somebody or training. I can't see all tasks within the project. Is this possible? And the reason why probably this question is quite common is because in the left-hand menu, when we click into tasks, then what this section of Bitrix allows you to do is manage all the tasks that you have some kind of involvement in. So whether you are the task creator, whether you are the task responsible person, a task participant, or a task observer, then you are going to see the tasks that you have any one of those involvement in this task section on your left-hand side. And that's the way it should be, because you should be able to manage those tasks that you have involvement in your tasks widget on the left-hand side. So they all appear here, and obviously you can click and filter through those. But what the question was with regarding is that, let's just say, for example, Buzzco, that was a project that you had in Bitrix. Now, I can only see 2 tasks here, and that's because I'm only responsible for 2. If I clicked on all, I can see 4 tasks. And again, that's probably because I'm either the creator of that particular task or I'm an observer or participant. However, that project might have more than those 4 tasks. So the only way to see a full overview of the project's tasks themselves is if I actually click into the work group. So I can click into the work group on the left-hand side, click into Buzzco, and then once I do that and click into the tasks, and let's just go to the list view so it's quite clear what tasks there are within this particular project, then you can see here that there are actually more than 4 tasks. And the reason for it is that somebody else within this project is working on those tasks. So the top 2, the current systems, Andy is creator and Andy is responsible. And on the draft content, Katie is the creator and Damien is responsible. So I'm logged in as Matt Smith. That user doesn't have any involvement in these two, so he can't see them in his tasks menu item on the left. However, when you actually go to the project itself, you can see all the tasks that are associated to that project. So it's a good place to come to if you want to see what's going on, where we are with a particular project, and what tasks are currently being carried out. Now, if you want to, on a project, you can set the specific permissions to actually restrict seeing all the tasks if you wanted to. So if you're a project owner, so if we click into the General tab here, you can see each project that gets created has a project owner. So I'm Max Smith here, so I'm the owner of this particular project. And if we click on Access Permissions underneath the Actions menu item, then we can see here the permission to view all tasks is set to Group Owner and Group Moderators. And that's quite important because you might want to set the Group Owner as the project manager. You might want to set the Group Moderators as your project coordinators maybe, so it's some kind of higher level than a normal project member. And what that will mean is that the owner and the project coordinators will then be able to see all the tasks, whereas a normal project member will just be able to see their own tasks that they have some involvement in. So it's quite a good place to come to restrict those kinds of permissions. So I had a couple of questions come through. So good morning. I have a question for you. In the list of my products, I can insert a condition that shows a column to insert a start date, end date, only if I select it. So you can't have conditional fields within products. So yeah, conditional fields aren't available in products as of yet, unfortunately. But it's something, I'm just reading the second part of your question. So the end date and a column to select the customer or make these columns necessary only if I select the field of a list that my product is out of the warehouse. So that, like I say, at the moment, unfortunately, we don't have the conditional field element within the product. So it's something that we can put towards Bitrix to as a feature request. So it's definitely something that we could look at. I think I have been asked similar before from one of our clients. And it may be possible if you are on the on-premise version, because it could do maybe with a little bit of modification to that. I have a doubt in CRM company. How can I add a new company activity element? So I'm not sure generally what you mean with regard to an activity element, but if we go into the CRM and we go into the settings within here, and I think it's in statuses and drop downs under the start point, we do have different event types that we can add, and we do have call statuses, but event type, those maybe that you're talking about a new company activity element. I mean, generally the only activities that you can schedule out on companies and contacts and opportunities are the ones are across the top here on the right hand side. So we can book out a call, we can send an SMS message, we can schedule an email, a task, a meeting, a visit. So a visit is something that you can record a audio transcript of the meeting itself. So if I was to go to a meeting, so a meeting or a visit, then when I click on here, we can see that it's going to start recording the conversation. And once I click on the complete option on here, then you can see that it records the visit on the right hand side of the company stream here. And it's particularly good, especially if you go to a client on site and maybe you've got the mobile app or you have got your laptop out ready to have the meeting. You can just go into the company profile, click on visit. It will start recording the conversation that you're having with regards to that meeting. Save it here for future reference if you need to. So while we're in here, one of the common questions that we get is these activity streams obviously build up a lot and store a lot of historic information with regards to communicating with this particular client. And it can become obviously quite long, and you don't want to be scrolling through everything that you need to be able to find. So a quick resolution for that is clicking on the filter to the right hand side here of the activity stream. We can search for some content. So if we wanted to search for, if we clicked on mockup here, you can see here that it will bring up any of the elements of activities on the right hand side that includes the word mockup. So you can see in this particular task, we have a task description of please provide the mockup of the client's site. So we can find that kind of information. Alternatively, if we click into the event itself, then we can find all comments that have been stored against this particular company. And this is the same throughout all of the CRM entities. So whether you're in a company, whether you're in a contact, a lead, or a deal, you can quickly and easily filter out this activity stream, storing all the information that you need to about that particular company or lead or deal or contact. If you ever want to store notes against a company or a contact, you can do so in here just by clicking on comment, saying some notes about the company. And what you can also do is you can tag people in. So I could tag in Mark. I think we've got a user called Mark on here, so let's have a look. I'm not sure who we've got on in. So we could say Joe, please follow up with the customer. Click on send. And then because I've tagged Joe Smith into that particular comment, Joe will get a notification that pops up within Bitrix. So you can see in the top right hand corner here that we have the notification center. I can click into this and it will say that Matt Smith has tagged you in this particular comment. It will have a link pretty much like this. You can click on it and it will slide out and show you the comment in the activity stream. So it's a good way of grabbing somebody's attention in Bitrix. It will come through not only the notification center, but it will also come through if you've got the mobile app. So Bitrix is available on an Android and an iOS device. Just find it in the Google Store or the App Store. You can download it and you can get all your notifications through that particular device as well. So you don't have to always be logged in to Bitrix on your desktop. So it's a handy tool to have. So all these notifications will come through. And that leads me on to another question and a common question that generally get asked on training and support queries is about your notifications. If you want to tailor the notifications that you receive, maybe you receive a lot, somebody maybe tags you in something or comments on a task, you can actually tailor which notifications you receive. So if you just click on the notification center in the top right hand corner here, click in the little gear icon on the left hand side of the screen, and you can see here if you want to enable and disable the system notifications. So if you don't want to receive any emails, you can deselect all email notifications. The same with push notifications and the same with the desktop notifications as well. Furthermore, you can tailor it. So if you click into advanced mode, you can switch on and off the notifications found in here. Now, it's quite important to know that if you are logged into the system, you will always get a system notification before you receive an email. If you are logged in, you will not receive an email, because if you've got an active session, it's always going to notify you through the system first, rather than sending you an email. So you're not bombarded with a lot of system notification emails. So it just reduces the amount of emails that you've got. If you aren't logged into the system and something happens, so say for example overnight, you will receive an email notification to say that there's been an update on a specific task. You've been tagged into a particular comment on an activity stream post. There are a whole range of notifications that you can get. So I'll just put our contact details up there for the moment. As I mentioned, we are Intraface, so we're a gold partner of Bitrix24, and we've got offices in the US, in the UK, and in Dubai. So if you are looking for some pre-sale support, maybe a demonstration of some of the features, then just get in touch with us and we can schedule one of those in, usually on the same day. There shouldn't be any issues with that at all. Or schedule it in at your own convenience to, if you want a one-to-one demo, that's fine. If you want us to come to your offices and have a demonstration, again, that should be absolutely fine as well. We also offer premium support, so if you have any issues, you can contact us using our ticketing support, or you can give us a call and we can answer those issues on the phone. So let's see if we've got some more questions that have come through. We have some from the ones that have been sent throughout the week. So I've got, can I host the system on my own private cloud? So there's two versions of Bitrix, for those of you that don't know. There is a cloud version that Bitrix hosts in an Amazon data center that's going to be the closest towards your location, your geographical location. So they've got data centers, obviously, many places in the US, the UK, Europe, Asia. There are a lot of different data centers. So Bitrix will choose the one that's most local to you. But the question here, can I host a system on my own private cloud? Well, if you wanted to host Bitrix yourself, then you're just going to need the on-premise version. Excuse me. And the on-premise version gives you essentially the ability to host it on a server in your office. You can host it on a cloud service such as AWS yourself, or Google Compute, or there are many private cloud providers. Yeah, as long as the operating system on the server, so it's generally we would recommend a Linux environment, but it can be installed on an on-premise solution on a Windows server as well. We have many customers that have Bitrix on their own Windows servers as well. So yeah, absolutely. You just would need the on-premise. Comes in a range of different licenses, ranging from, I think it's 12 users with a CRM, through to the enterprise version, which is 5,000, 10,000 users. So take a look on the Bitrix24 website for the pricing. And instead of the cloud, then you just click on the on-premise version and you can find out the cost for that. I've got another question about telephony. I want to use my own telephone number in Bitrix. Is there a service you can recommend? Yeah, so Bitrix disabled the ability to connect your own number using the rented option due to a lot of maybe fraudulent activity on those connected numbers. So instead, what they've done is allowed you to connect third-party telephony providers. So if I click on the telephony here, you will be able to see some of the different options that you can use. So we have a range of different applications. So if I click on the total apps here, then we can see that we have free PBX, We have Ring Central, which is a popular option. 3CX, there's Asterisk. There are a range of different options that you can do to connect into Bitrix. And we would always recommend, if you're not going to rent a number from Bitrix, which in this case it was just about connecting your own telephone number, then it's best to go through one of these third-party applications that already has pre-built integrations with Bitrix. The alternate option, if you don't want to use one of the third-party services listed in the application store, is that you can use an Office PBX or a Cloud PBX. So they are very simple. Well, the majority of them are fairly straightforward to connect. If we wanted to connect to Cloud PBX, all we would need to do is connect using the credentials that are on the screen at the moment. And then you would need to buy a SIP connector. SIP connectors are, I do believe, $49 every month. So it is a monthly subscription to connect up your own PBX to Bitrix. You do get free 60 minutes if you do want to trial that prior. If I delete any company, the notification should go to the concerned person, but I can't get any notifications. Is there a way to show those notifications? So when you delete a company, I guess the person who's responsible should be notified. I would need to double check, because I think by default you would not get a notification inside Bitrix if somebody deletes one of your companies. Maybe what you could do, I guess, if you're deleting, it's quite difficult because it's going to remove the actual entity from Bitrix. So I don't think you should be able to. See. I'd have to find out and maybe come back to you in the next week's session about that. I'll make a note to take a look at how we could notify somebody of deleting. I know you get notified if something changes. So if something changes in a company, you can send an automatic notification, but it's just the deleting aspect. Because what you can do in Bitrix, you have the business process tool. So in the automation here, we click on business processes. And then in a company, what we can do is we can add a new business process. And instead of having it auto run when a company is added, we can add it when we can run this business process when it's been changed. So we could say send notification when changed. Click on save, and then all we would do is just use the user notification tool, put it in there, and then anytime a company is updated, changed, modified in any way, shape or form, it will send this notification out to the person that you would want to send it out to. So maybe if I'm logged in as I'm logged in as John Smith on this particular machine. So it might be that I want to send a notification every time. So the company, and then here, click on the dots, company name has been updated. The only thing is I don't think this would send a notification once you delete something. So if I click on save, and let's just check to see whether we would get a notification. If we delete this one here, click on delete, click on here. Yeah, see, we don't get a notifications once we delete. It's only going to be when we edit. So yeah, we'll have to come back on that case. I'm not sure. So we have another question. What is the easiest way to build a CRM form using my own domain name? I'm on a professional cloud. So we had this come in this week, And on your cloud version, you can obviously make your own custom CRM forms. And once you do so, then you have this. You create a public link here. So we've got Bitrix24 public.com/demonstration/. So this is the public link, and what they wanted to do was get this particular form on their own custom own personal link. And we wouldn't be able to change the public link in this case, but what we can do is use the Bitrix24 sites module. So if I just click into sites here, and what I want to do, let's create a new site, and let's just have it as an empty template to start off with. So we could say landing page, click on create, and this is a good way to put your own CRM forms on a website of your own. So we've created the blank template here. If I click on add block, what I want to do is include a CRM form. So you can see on this particular option here, we have a CRM form for a block. And you can see we have, maybe we're going to use this one here. Okay, so you can see here we have a background image and we have a CRM form. If I click on edit, I'll be able to select the form that I want to use. So you can see CRM form here, and maybe we click on free cake recipes here. And then what we can do furthermore is we can style it up a little bit better. So if I click on, sorry, not edit, once that loads up, if I just click on close on here and click on upload, and let's just click on cakes. So we can find that some royalty-free images that we want to use. So maybe let's just use this particular one here. Click on save, then you can see we have one here. So you can start building this up. Maybe you want to add a little bit of a footer. So we can say free cake, and then we're using this particular form here. And going back to the question, it was, what's the easiest way to build a CRM form on their own domain name? So with Bitrix sites, what you can do is if we click into settings here and just click into site settings, what we can do is have our own site address. So we click on the little pencil icon, and instead of using a Bitrix24 domain, what we can do is we can add our own domain name. And one of the most common ways to do it would be to say freecake.intraface.com. Because if you own a domain name, then you can have as many subdomains as you want, and we can have freecake.intraface.com. And what it will do, it will just give you a record to add to your DNS settings where you've registered your domain name from, and then you will be able to click on continue. Once that takes around about, it usually says 24 hours to propagate. It's usually quicker than that. But it will just give you then the ability to use and send out freecake.intraface.com. Use that on all your marketing material. You can send it out to clients. They will then, if I click on cancel, because I'm not going to use that, they will then arrive at this particular landing page. So I could publish this here. They will land at this page. Obviously, you can style it a bit better than this, but it has the form on. It will have your freecakes.intraface.com domain name, and it also gives you a free SSL certificate as well. So everything is secure and hosted on your professional cloud. And with a professional cloud, you can create as many landing pages as you want using the sites module. So it's the quickest and easiest way to embed forms on your own branded page here. So it's a great way of doing it. Because you cannot change the public link that Bitrix give you on your CRM forms. So like I say, these pages here, so we have another one. I use the cake option quite a bit, but you can see in here we have a form. We can build up however you wish. We can use the widgets, we can have live chat on there that will go directly in Bitrix. And just to point out is once this form gets submitted, it goes directly into your leads section in your CRM. And one of the other queries was, how can you basically tell where your lead has come from? And the best way to do it would be to create multiple CRM forms, because again, you can create as many CRM forms as you want, and you will know when the lead comes into the CRM which particular form it's come from. So if I just open up our leads here, let's see if we've got one. So you can see here, complete CRM form, enter to win a free cake. It will tell you literally where that particular lead has come from. So if I've got another form that maybe is enter to win a Bitrix license, it will tell me that it's come from that particular option there. And what we can also do based on having multiple CRM forms is if we went into, let's just click into here and let's get the name of this. So we could click on here. And what we can do with our automation is every time, you might have 10 CRM forms, and if all 10 come in, what we can do is maybe you want to send an email back to them. So if I click on client communications, you can send an SMS either if you wanted to as well. But if I send an email, and we could have a condition to say lead name equals, and then if I paste in, so it's not copied it, but if I paste in the name of the lead every time, so that one I just copied there, so it said CRM form, enter to win a free cake, we would just copy and paste that into here, and that would mean then that every time that lead came in from that particular lead name, we could then send thanks for entering your cake is on its way. And if you wanted to personalize it, I'm not sure if people are aware, but if you click on the three dots, click on here, and then we can click on first name. So I could put hello first name, your cake is on its way, and so on and so forth. And if you ever want to style these emails up, if you want to use HTML to brand up your automatic emails being sent back, you can do so. Just click on the little formatting tool here and click on the source code option here. That will then give you the way you can just copy and paste in your HTML templates. So it's a good way of automating your marketing once a CRM form gets submitted. Can WhatsApp be connected to Bitrix with a service other than Twilio? So I think you have two options. So in the contact center, you'll be aware that the WhatsApp option is there, and that is via Twilio. The other option that you've got is that if we click into our applications, so in here, I do believe there is another WhatsApp option. I think it's called WhatsApp. Maybe let's have a look. Maybe if we go into, it definitely is in here. So I think maybe SMS providers. Let's see if it's in this. In fact, I think I just saw it on the previous screen. So if I come out of here, you can see here, that's the one. So that's the only other option that you've got for connecting WhatsApp into Bitrix. Okay, so that's the WhatsApp question. So I've created a new workflow for an organization, and if a new company is added or any modification is needed to it, it has to get the approval from the responsible person. The notification is working fine, but the changes happen without approval. Yeah, they're going to change without the approval, aren't they? I don't think that would be possible. I think what you would have to do is, yeah, I'm not sure. Again, I'm not sure how you would do that without some research into that, because it would only trigger when it's already been edited, so the fields would already change prior. Yeah, again, it take a little bit of research to do that. I'm trying to think if we've done that before. I think we've done it before for new customers. But yeah, for editing, it's going to take a little bit of research to be able to do that. So I'll just put up our contact details on here at the moment. As I mentioned, we are in the UK, we're in the US, and in Dubai. So if you do have any questions about Bitrix, please do get in touch with us using that. So I've got one final question on here. Can I import calendar events from another calendar? So Bitrix does offer you the ability to sync your calendars. So in here, you can see the little sync tool, and then we can connect up our different calendars on there. So that's probably one option. I think the other option that you may have is we have the configure external calendars using CalDAV. That is the other option that we have. So that's the only ways of getting your current calendar into Bitrix. So obviously if you are on a, I don't know, I'm on a Mac at the moment, but if you're on a Windows machine, then you will have the options of connecting Outlook. So those are the options you've got. I think, Jerome, what I'll do is I've made a note of your questions, and please Jerome, if you get in touch with me, Andy@intraface.com, then I'll see if I can get some information over to you in the week before the next live session. I think that might be useful because, and I can maybe cover them in the next session as well of how we've gone about it. Because like I say, this session is generally used for an hour's free support. Obviously, if the requirements are a little bit more complex than that we can't think of if we've done it before, or we can't think of another way, then we will try and find a way for them for the next call, so you can see. And everything's recorded on here, so everything's published on Bitrix24 YouTube channel. So if you've missed any of your questions that you sent in during the week, but you've only just joined, we've gone through all the questions that we have received throughout the week. So I've got a couple of minutes. If you don't get any questions, if you don't have any questions, we'll end the session. I don't have any more questions that have come through for the past week. So I think for that, then what we'll do is we'll leave it there for the time being. Like I say, if you do have any questions at all during the week, please do put them in the box provided, or send them to sales@intraface.com, and we'll start the next session off with those questions. But that's it, I think. So bye for now.